Hello, superstars, and welcome to episode 2 of What's Your Hero Radio, the radio talk show where I talk about heroes I really like. I'm your host, Maya, and this week we're going to be talking about Tono Hoeru, Gozyu Wolf from number 1 Sentai Gozyuger. That was great. Alright, so jumping from an anime character to a tokusatsu hero is obviously not the craziest jump, but we're going to talk about Gozyuger because as the time of filming this, Gozyuger just wrapped. So it's a very topical, me when I forget how to speak, it's a very topical topic. Wow, those words don't flow together as well as I thought they would. Anyway, we're talking about Gozyuger. Goyzu Wolf, Tono Hoeru are red for the 50th anniversary of Super Sentai and also the finale of Super Sentai. Rest in peace. May it go on forever. Now, Hoeru was a really great... He was a good red. He's not the worst red. He was no Resol red. Sorry, Resoldier fans. Code didn't do it for me. Hoeru was fun. I like how he had the team form around him in his own way and kind of the space he made for himself and for his team. So Hoeru was a very interesting and fun character to watch throughout this show. Especially, he had his dynamics with Kuon and Tegasword, which was really interesting because Tegasword did keep coming to him, and it really just kind of comes down to why is Hoeru getting this whole chosen one thing from Tegasword? Besides just being the red, really, it seemed like he was supposed to be a deity. We might get that in the Boom Boom Jerks Gozyuger movie. I don't think we will. I'm very actually excited to see that movie. It's going to be really, really interesting what they do. But all that to say, we're talking about Tono Hoeru, and much like the Tanjiro episode, I think I realized I want to try to encapsulate my feelings about every hero in an episode in one word. And the word that I would use to describe Goyzu Wolf, Tono Hoeru, it's I don't think it's the most common word you would think. I'm going to say that I think he is fruitful. And I think that is his biggest strength as a hero. Now, when I say fruitful, obviously, yes, he does. Spoilers for Gozyuger. Probably, yeah. Spoilers for Gozyuger. He wins the ring war at the end of the show. The main character wins the thing. Who knew? Yeah, I know. I said it anyway. But yeah, so not only does his ambition, his wish come to fruit with him winning. I'm going to keep stumbling over. He does win the ring war through interesting means because, everybody else dies. But then he goes on to win the second ring war because, of course, he wishes to redo the ring war, which that actually really surprised me. I thought he was just going to wish for his friends back. But him saying that he's going to redo the ring war and then proceeding to win it again, it's very interesting. Of course, he does do that, but also he consistently just carves out a place for himself throughout the story. He starts as a man in debt and honestly in poverty. He still stays like that throughout the show, but as it goes on, he brings the other Gozyugers to his side. He's slowly carving his place in the world and finding his wish, because that's his whole thing, is that he doesn't know what his wish is, and he's trying to find it every step of the way. Every setback from Kuon, every universe warrior that shows up that he ends up making friends with. I think his dynamic with universe warrior Don Momotaro was very fun. I forget his name. I just know he's Don Momotaro. I think that was actually a really great way to kick off Gozyuger, with that being our first main universe warrior, and we go through all of that stuff. And yeah, it's really great to see how much he takes away from everything and how much he puts in, because he puts in the effort. Of course, he's a wild guy. He gets the Orca booster. He claims it. Of course, Fire Candle claims it first, but The difference between Fire Candle and Hueru is that Fire Candle lets it take him over. The Hueru seems to be in perfect sync with the Orca Booster. So, constantly he is bearing fruit to his desire and his goal, and he is carving his place in the world. He's charting his path towards victory. So I think that's one of the greatest things about Hueru, and I think that's why he's such an interesting and engaging protagonist. I would definitely say he's my favorite character in this show. And Gozyuger, yeah, no, it's definitely not any other Gozyugers. Maybe Kumade? No, I didn't really like Kumade either. I think Hueru would be my favorite. Just because I liked him the most. Of course, you have Kuon. And I think tangent, not a tangent, I'm going to talk about Kuon and Hueru. Kuon and Hueru have a very interesting dynamic throughout this show. But at the same time, at the end of it all, Hueru gets his brother back. He gets him, and at first the form of a sword, and then in the finale, turns back into a person. And his goal of getting his brother back again comes to fruition, but Hueru never gets anything given to him, and I think that's why I would say fruitful, because he's constantly working. Of course, he has a job like every other episode. He's like Trish and Austin and I, which is that's exactly what it's like. But that's a crazy reference to pull. But he's constantly working. He's constantly trying, and he keeps bearing fruit. And I think that's again the most interesting thing about his character, because he just keeps working and he keeps succeeding. And I think that's just something to say about Gozyuger as a whole, is they keep working towards their goals, and then at the end they get them all. Kumade rewrites the world so all of their problems can be solved, which, writing aside, it's a very interesting and good way to go about it, because it's like, you get everything we wanted at the end of the show because we fought for it. He's just a fruitful hero. Gozyuger overall was pretty good. I have a lot of thoughts on Gozyuger, and I'm still trying to think about how I want to talk about it, if I want to talk about it. Gozyuger was good. It was fine. But Hueru was definitely, I think, the standout for me. I think he had some really great fight scenes. Of course, Orca Booster, Wild Goyzu Wolf, I think is a great form. I think it had some really good stuff. And then Tegasaur Blood Moon is a really beautiful mecha. It's definitely one of my favorite mechas of all time. And when I go to Japan, I will definitely pick up an Orca Booster. I already have the Tegasword. I went out to California to go to Universal Hollywood, and while I was there, I stopped at Little Tokyo and Little Akihabara, and then I bought the Tegasword, and so I got it I think we were on episode 4 or so. We were early Gozyuger, and I knew I wanted that toy, and they had one, so I bought it, and I got the special ring, and then the little booklet that came with it. So I have both of those, and it's really cool. And I have it displayed in the Robo mode, and it stands above all of my other toys, and he looks really cool, and I really love him. I'm getting really off track about talking about Hueru. I feel like talking about Gozyuger is tangentially always talking about Hueru. Anyway, yeah. Hueru is a great character. I really like him. And he bears fruit throughout all he does, and that's what makes him a great hero. Alright, I said I was going to do it, so we're going to move on to the voice acting corner. I don't know what I'm going to call that. Voice acting corner is pretty good. Seiyu corner. I don't know, voice acting corner. We're going to stick with voice acting corner for now. I'm going to do his roll call line and then his catchphrase. I'm not going to play the toy noises because I feel like that'll just get really annoying. Here we go. Engage! That's it. What do you guys think? Oh, no, no, no. Hagiri Ipiki! Gozyu Wolf! Roll call line. Omae wa naorana. Oh, fuck. I messed that up. Omae wa orana. Imona da! Starting now, you are my prey. And then, of course, the last one was Outcast, Lone Wolf, however you want to call it. Goyzu Wolf. Pretty good. Did that pretty good, honestly. You know, all that to say, Gozyuger was a great show. Super Sentai was a wonderful series. I welcome it back today. And to go out with a protagonist like Kaworu, yeah, a very fruitful hero showing that keep working hard, your efforts pay off. Which I think is actually a really great way to end the Sentai legacy for now. Just gotta keep battling every day. And the Super Sentai will be there. Well, Gavin will be there now. Yeah, let's going to wrap that episode up. Thank you for listening to episode 2 of What's Your Hero Radio. Bye, superstars.